Obviously a big week. Two opponents in the West. Chance to try to get 2 wins here over LSU. Just played them a couple of weeks ago. Obviously they'll be very familiar with us, as we will with them. Both teams, I'm sure, will make adjustments based on what happened in the last game. So we're in the process of getting prepared for that, and it should be an exciting game. And then on Saturday, going down the road and playing Auburn, another opponent in the West, and obviously a huge game in terms of the interstate rivalry. And I'm looking forward to experiencing what I've heard for several months. Will be in a great atmosphere in their building, and obviously a very highly contested game. So our team is just looking forward to getting back on the court and preparing for another opportunity to play.
Questions for Coach?
Coach, so far this season, especially in SEC play, you've done a real good job limiting opponents' field goal percentage. Have you been pretty pleased with how the defense has played, even when the offense isn't quite, it's been a little
Yeah, I think our defense has given us chances in every game that we've played. And I think that's been one thing that's been consistent throughout SEC play. And I think every game brings different challenges, and our guys have met the challenge up to this point. We have to understand again who we are, and that if we continue to do that, if we can defend, and if we can get consistent in terms of rebounding, that it gives us a chance at least every night.
What do you think's been the key to the defense playing as well as it has? Is it just effort, or is it more strategical?
I think it's a combination of things. Sometimes, other teams are missing, but I do think our guys are giving good effort. I think we understand the intensity that we have to play with to have a chance against the competition that we're playing against every night. It's a process, I think, where hopefully we understand that we've got to bring that energy and effort every night. If you do that, at least you're going to have an opportunity. That's all we can look for. I couldn't sit here and tell you we've got anything figured out, because we don't. Every game brings different challenges, and we just got to be prepared for that challenge on a given day.
And finally, do you take much from what you were able to do to them in Baton Rouge defensively? Do you think that'll carry over much one game to the other?
Well, I'm sure there'll be a lot of adjustments that they'll make based on how we guarded them there, and things that we'll do differently based on having a chance to be familiar with what they want to do against us. So do I think it'll be some bearing? Yes, but I think this game will have a completely different feel than what we saw 2 weeks ago. So we've got to be prepared for that.
Coach Grant, could you talk a little bit about Chris Hines and sort of what he's done to sort of increase the minutes?
I think Chris Hines is beginning to figure out what his role is on our team and what we need from him. I thought this past week against Tennessee and this weekend against Mississippi State, I thought he brought great energy to our team. And a lot of the things that he does aren't necessarily things that show up on the stat sheet. When you look at his energy, his physicality, the ability to guard several different positions, I think he's done a very good job. And then he's finding his niche in terms of where he can be effective on the other end of the floor for us. And I think it's been a great boost to our team, very, very much needed in terms of our limitations in the front court. So I think he is just when you look at it, he's almost like a freshman, because it's his first year of really playing major college basketball, even though he's an older guy. And hopefully he's figured some things out, and will continue to bring the energy that he's brought.
Coach, it seems like Tony Mitchell's been getting a little more visible for the team since conference play started. Can you just talk about what his biggest contribution is for you, and how you've seen him improve in his first year?
Well, I think Tony's had a great freshman year, and obviously there are a lot of very good freshmen in this league, and maybe overshadowed somewhat because of what some of the other freshmen are doing. But he prior to missing a couple of games with mono, I thought was really establishing himself and playing well. I think since he's been back, he's kind of picked up where he's left off, and I think with every game gets a better feel for what he can and can't do, and what's needed. I think Tony's got a bright future. I think he's a guy with his size and athleticism and what he can bring you, whether it be offensively with his slashing ability or on the defensive end with his ability to make hustle plays and rebound and guard a couple of different positions. I think he's got a very, very bright future ahead of him.
Anybody have anything else?
Yes, excuse me, Lori.
Get you.
Going back to the defensive questions from earlier, where do you feel like there is room for improvement, if there is room to get better on that end of the floor?
Well, we've got to consistently defend the three-point line. I thought we did a very good job this weekend against Mississippi State of trying to limit their opportunities. I think that'll be critical for us as we go forward. I think just taking away easy baskets. You look at the Mississippi State game. We were able to get a lead because we had some success offensively, and they went on a run there and cut that lead early in the game, and then we went on an offensive lull to close the half out, and they got some transition baskets on us. We got up 12 in the second half, and they went on a run, on a 14-0 run, against us because of some things that we didn't do on the defensive end. So I think overall, we just have to get more consistent, just in terms of understanding that we can't allow what happens on the offensive end to affect our effort and focus on the defensive end. And then we've got to continue to focus on rebounding the basketball and not giving up second shots and second chance opportunities.
Several of the Mississippi State guys said that you guys were successful in speeding them up with what they would want to do. Is that just the press, or do you think it was a matter of the pressure you were getting on in the half court as well?
I think it was both. I thought our guys did a good job of understanding what we had to do, what we had to try to take away from them in terms of their ability to shoot the three. So I thought our guys did a good job of that.
Coach, I know it ain't been very long since you played LSU. Have they made any substantial changes in what they're doing?
Not that I've seen up to this point. I just started watching them actually this morning. I think maybe a little different lineup, maybe one or two lineup changes that they've made. But outside of that, I really haven't seen enough of their more recent games to really tell you that there's a lot of changes. Obviously, we've got a couple of days here to try to figure out maybe some things that they do differently, some things that we can try to change based on our last time we played them.
Coach, just a quick follow-up too on LSU. Talking about Tasman Mitchell, I'm sure I know he's kind of increased his offensive role, maybe even since you played him, just the challenges of guarding him.
Well, he's I think he's one of the better competitors in college basketball. I've really been a fan of his since his freshman year, my last year at Florida. I think he's a guy that brings great energy and a great competitive spirit to the game. And I think that's what you've seen out of him over the last couple of weeks is he's really upped his productivity to try to give his team a chance to win. I think he may have had a 38-point game, somewhere in between that, between the last time we played them. And I think he top 3 or 4 in the league in scoring, top 2 or 3 in the league in rebounding right now. So he's a great player, can hurt you in a lot of different ways. He's really expanded his game to where he's shooting threes and obviously strong and physical on the inside. So he poses a problem in a lot of different areas on the offensive end, and then defensively. He's a veteran. He's been around the game for 5 years, and he makes plays that just from anticipation that can be very disruptive. So I think obviously he's the leader of their team, and I'm sure he'll be ready to go. Great competitor.
Coach, I guess just one more thing. How tough a sell was it from an effort and intensity standpoint to get these guys to play defense the way you wanted? Because it does seem like a little more now than maybe early in the year.
Well, I think it's like I told you, when we started, and I'll continue to say it every week, is we just trying to get better with every game. I think with every practice, every game, the guys are understanding what the demands are and what's required. And I think with every success we have, I think it just solidifies in their minds why we do what we do, and they're learning. I think the thing I've been impressed with our guys is either through wins or through losses, they maintain that willingness to get better, to want to learn and want to grow. And sometimes it's been, you know, through, you know, pushing and prodding to force it, but other times it's been where they understand, hey, listen, we've got to change the mindset, the mentality in terms of how we approach what we do. So it's a work in progress, you know, and I understand, you know, where you're trying to go, but the truth of the matter is we could come out this week and not play well defensively. So we have nothing figured out. I think the thing that we've got to do is try to give ourselves a chance every night to win, and that starts on the defensive end.